Going from the opposition, from David Ndii, the likes of Raila Odinga, it's not about to stop anytime soon. Raila Odinga also condemned the arrest, saying they do expect, however, several similar arrests on their allies to continue. David Ndii just last week was installed as the head of the steering committee for the formation of people's assemblies, something that had been stopped by a Kitui court, but NASA then went ahead to defy that court order. Maybe just very briefly with you, Steve, could we say then that bit of his statement was unconstitutional for David Ndii?
If it was unconstitutional, it should have been arrested, and prefer so that we see how it has been framed. But I have something for NASA. You see, the People's Assembly, as a concept, is not illegal, it's not unlawful, it's not unconstitutional. It is what you do with the People's Assembly. In fact, civil society have been convening the People's Assemblies. Bunge la Wananchi, People's Assembly, you could reference it in Article 10, public participation in the manner in which you are being governed. But what I disagree with is this: you can't manipulate a constitutional provision for political benefit. And certainly, you can't use the discourse on People's Assembly to pass laws or to usurp powers that you don't have. For instance, the county assemblies, by law, cannot legislate on national matters. That is the preserve of the National Assembly. They're supposed to break down national legislation to county-specific needs. Number two, county assemblies cannot legislate in a manner that usurps or offends the Constitution. If they do so, as the High Court in Kitui has done, all those laws will be invalidated, including the bills. It is very dangerous for NASA to continue, because I saw during the electioneering campaign, both NASA and Jubilee believing that they can operate outside the law, that they are immune to legal processes. It is very dangerous, even for NASA now, to continue to disregard a court order. There is a court order stopping the establishment of the People's Assembly until a proper framing is done. What the court did not do, the court cannot stop discussion on the People's Assembly, but the court framed and said, from what is presented before me, the intended consequence of this People's Assembly is to delegitimize lawful authority. Now, that is illegal, and NASA knows it. NASA should be careful on how they approach constitutional issues. Do not start within the Constitution and then innovate outside the Constitution, because what you do now is your investment in the future. You know, this discussion about People's Assembly, you never know. It may mutate into something else. NASA, based on their past conduct, they may either want to rely on it, or their past conduct may be what may be used against them, because then you're pushing agenda which looks harmless, but when it mutates into something else, people will see, but we are able to join the dots going backwards. I think it's safe to say this: if NASA persists, again, somebody should move to court for contempt, to cite NASA leadership for contempt of court, because the court has spoken, saying that you don't proceed until the case pending in Kitui is finalized. The case in Kitui applies across the country. You know, the High Court has jurisdiction. The High Court judgments, whether they're issued in Nairobi, Kitui, Mombasa, Siaya, they apply across board to the entire country. So NASA cannot say that discussion on People's Assembly has been stopped only in Kitui. The whole country, all the 47 county assemblies must respect the High Court.
All right, let me stop you there.
If they don't, they will not be able to rely on the courts again.
Yes, let's listen in to Kevin. Because Kevin, so far